Good morning, CalPers. Welcome to today's video. I'm here with Morgan, one of the wellness specialists here at the Fitness Center. And today we're going to speak to you about unilateral training. And as I say that, A, some of you are going to be like, what is that? And then B, I don't think most people realize just how important unilateral training is to whatever program you're on or what you're doing. Whether you're just starting out, you consider yourself a trained professional, whatever it may be, unilateral training is fantastic. It's a great way to develop function, increase performance, injury prevention. It's a long list. And also, I know there's a lot of runners who watch these videos, and there's a lot of runners through CalPers. If you are a runner and you are not doing unilateral training, I'm just going to tell you are missing out. The benefits of unilateral training are fantastic when it comes to running. So if you are a runner, definitely want to focus on that. So we're going to start off with Morgan today. She's going to take you through some things which she considers important unilateral training, and I will catch up to you in a bit. Okay?
Alright guys, I'm going to be talking about unilateral training in terms of injury prevention. It's really important that we are training our bodies in a way that we're going to prevent injuries later in life. It's unfortunately just something we have to think about because we do age and our muscles do tend to lose muscle mass over time. So the unilateral training literally just means one-sided. So some of the exercise examples I'm going to give you today, we're going to be utilizing a weight for some of them, doing some one-sided weighted work, as well as just some full body movements that we're going to focus on specifically our trunk. So your core muscles, meaning your core stabilizers, as well as your backs, and even your glutes are considered part of your core. We're going to talk about strengthening those unilaterally to kind of really prevent those injuries and to keep your spine nice and stable. So the matter of the fact is, none of us are even. We're all a little stronger on one side, we're a little weaker on one side. It's totally natural. We all, we either write with our right hand, our left hand, one side's a little stronger. And think about the way you live your life. Are you picking up those groceries perfectly every single time? Are you picking up that car seat perfectly every single time? No. You're picking it up one-handed because you're carrying the groceries on the other side, or you have your kid on your hip for hours because they're fussy. So we need to think about training our bodies in a way in which we live our lives, which is of course not with perfect form. And so we're going to train ourselves to strengthen those core muscles and kind of ease out those imbalances. We're never going to perfect them perfectly, and that's totally fine, that's totally normal. So I'm going to give you just some quick exercise ideas, just kind of describe why I'm doing them. So I've got one dumbbell here, and I'm going to actually just do some regular old-fashioned squats, just holding one dumbbell on one side. Let's go ahead and give it a grab. Feet are nice and parallel. We're going to take our glutes back behind us like we should be lifting, but we just have the weight on one side. The reason being, this is how you pick things up. You pick up your kiddo, you pick up the car seat, you pick up the groceries. So it's important to train our bodies to be able to stabilize. And you might notice that as you're holding the weight on one side, your core is actually firing. And that's because anytime you work anything on one side, your obliques are going to fire up to keep yourself nice and stable. Speaking of obliques, one of the best exercises you can do for your core stability as well as for your quadratus majora, which is your low back muscle right here, is a side plank. A couple options. You can do your side plank on your knees here, one knee, top leg supporting, or of course all the way full out. And you can hold it just as long as feels comfortable for you. You can add in some dips. It's totally up to you. That's going to help fire up those obliques as well as that QL muscle that I mentioned before in the back, and that's going to help keep your spine nice and stable. A couple other quick ideas. We're going to go into a bird dog here, just on our hands and our knees. Arm and leg is going to come out straight, just in line with our hips. Low back stays nice and flat, belly button is braced. We're not taking that tailbone up towards the sky. We're going to switch sides each time. This helps with those muscles right along your spine, your stabilizers right there. Helps really strengthen those. And then last but not least, I'm going to talk about your piriformis muscles. Those are your hip stabilizers. They're the muscles right around your hips that keep you stable as you're moving over uneven terrain. It's something we need to think about as we age because falls are unfortunately going to happen no matter where you are in your life. So by strengthening them, we can help prevent falls as well as help prevent some of the damage when we do fall. So a lot of that work is going to be great in our sideline. Just the regular old-fashioned leg lift here. Not quite that Jane Fonda from the 80s. Just a couple inches up, just in line with that hip. My top hip, if I feel it dip towards the back or come up into my rib cage, then I've come just a little too high. I want you to really focus just 4 to 6 inches off of the ground here. And a little trick, what I want you to do is I want you to do 10 on each side. You're gonna notice one side can go all day. The other side is gonna wanna wither and die immediately. So you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna do 10 extra ones on that one weak side to help balance the body. I'm gonna go ahead and hand it off to Dustin here. He's gonna fill in any gaps I missed, as well as talk a little bit more about unilateral training. Thank you guys so much.
Welcome back, Calpers. So Morgan did a fantastic job basically demonstrating the importance of unilateral training as far as the core goes. And what that really should have taught you is that basically, like so many other things we talk about, your core is always the starting point to almost everything. And as far as unilateral training goes, your core is vital. So she did a fantastic job basically showing how that core can help give you that stability and balance in order for you to focus on the outer limbs and what you need to do as far as do that unilateral training. Okay? Now what I'm going to take you through is basically some upper and lower body specific work and then putting it all together to improve our unilateral training as far as from a performance perspective. Okay? And again, unilateral training is basically training one side. So keep that in mind as you watch these exercises. That's what we're trying to do, is accomplish one-sided work in order to improve our training. So first I'm going to demonstrate is upper body. So I'm going to take this band right here. I'm going to actually take a split stance right here. I'm going to sink down into that lunge. I'm accomplishing two things right now. I'm actually working my lower body on top of my upper body. Okay, working this right and left hip at the same time. Coming forward, and I'm actually going to pull and rotate through my torso. The rotation of the torso is really important as I pull that band through, and I'm going to work my core, right arm, back as I pull, okay? Working this right side focus, okay? As you notice, I am top to bottom as far as that right-sided focus. Again, we want to make sure we rotate that torso. My chest is now pointing 90 degrees this way, and then I come back 90 here, and then rotate out like that. That is a fantastic way to work that upper body rotation, unilateral training. Probably want to do about 3 sets of 10 on each side. Do the other side real quick to show you. Again, take that split stance, arm fully extended. Again, this is my back now. Rotating forward, looking at my back, okay? You can even add a little bit, rotate that other arm. So you're still mainly focused on your left side, but basically you are going to work the mechanics of your right hand side as far as full body motion. So a little extra for you as you get better, but like this is fine at first. So again, 90 degrees, rotating torso, just like that. So that's a really great exercise. Work that upper body, right and left. Next, what I want to show you is, I mentioned trunk rotation a little bit on that last exercise. We're going to step it up a little bit. And even though trunk exercise is kind of an upper body as a whole, it's important to develop both sides in order to give you that balance and stability as you just try to work one side or the other. So I'm actually going to take this ball straight out in front. And now I'm just going to literally keep that lower body still as I rotate left and right. Okay? This qualifies as unilateral training because as I get to the farthest point and basically engaging that one side to its max capacity and working that core and stability as I rotate, working the entire torso, back, chest, all the above, and maximizing each side. So I mentioned runners in the intro, okay? If you're a runner, what happens a lot is everybody thinks about lower body down. Well, guess what? You rotate when you run, right? So it's really important to maximize your trunk rotation in order to maximize your performance. Some of us might be athletes, okay? Might still be playing in rec leagues, whatever it may be. But guess what? That trunk rotation, fantastic. Baseball, basketball, volleyball, swimmers. Swimming's fabulous for recreational activities. Golf. So all these trunk exercises completely bleed over into those sports. Might help your game a little bit, might enjoy it a little bit more. So that's kind of some upper body approaches to unilateral training, okay? Next, I'm going to take you to our lower body, basically show you what we can do for those hips and those legs as far as unilateral training. All right, everybody, so now I'm going to show you hips down as far as unilateral training, some things you can do. And then afterwards, we'll show you some things you can do to put it all together to maximize your performance as a whole body. So basically lunges is what I'm going to demonstrate to you today. They are a fantastic way to improve your unilateral strength and basically performance. And let me quickly backtrack here and explain why that would be. As I squat, every one of us has some kind of cheat in our squat when we go down. Some of us are stronger in our right, some of us are stronger in our left. And when you're stronger that way, all that force basically is pushing through that one side for the most part. And the more you do it, guess what? The stronger you're going to get on that side. So for me personally, it's the right side. So as I sink, I cheat a little bit to the right. Basically over time, I'm actually going to keep overdeveloping this side compared to my left. And long term, it's going to do two things. It's going to increase my chance of injuries. At the same time, it's actually going to decrease my performance because all my output is in that leg because I'm never developing enough my left, okay? So unilateral strength is a great way to basically even that out, get more development on the other side, and that's actually going to take strain off of my right side and going to allow me to perform better in everything that I do. So a little background right there on that, okay? So lunges, we're going to take a split stance, okay? Basically what I want to do is sink my hips straight down above 90 degrees from shoulder to hips, okay? Driving through that front heel and coming straight up and forward. Okay, so that was really slow. That was more of a split stance squat than a lunge. But a lunge, we sink down, drive up to that heel and come forward. Kicking back again, sinking those hips straight down, coming forward. So as you can see, I'm really working that left quad and glute, driving up through my heel, and I'm actually getting leverage on my left side / mobility on my right side on the back, okay? So as you can see, great tool to work just the majority of my left-hand side to increase my strength and ability and mobility, okay? I'll show you a few from the right. Coming right here. Again, stepping forward, weight heel, sink hips straight down. One thing that I like to tell people when they're first starting to do lunges, when you do that lunges, front foot back, kick that foot back comfortably, okay? And then from here, pause for a second, let your body momentum to stop, and then sink. What happens to a lot of people is they want to do it too quick and they do things like that. You can see my body momentum takes me back too quick. So I'm actually not sinking my hips straight down. So kick back, pause, and then sink and drive up, okay? So again, that's a basic lunge. So most of us can all start there. A real quick modification is a split stance squat, which I'm basically going to stand right here and then just work on sinking my hips. So that's even another modification you do to get started. So once you get comfortable with lunges, do a different variety of them, get up in sets. Start off like, again, about 3 sets of 8 to 10. Get started, get comfortable. But eventually, a great tool for split stance is Bulgarian squats. Put that foot comfortably back on the step behind me. Same rules apply. Front foot flat, shin straight. Sink those hips straight down. Come tall, pushing through that heel. And now I'm really increasing my strength load on my left side and really improving that left-right discrepancy that I have. Bulgarian squats are a great way for unilateral strength and actually improve the strength of those legs. Again, if you're a runner, athlete, fantastic way to increase your performance. Plus, I gotta tell you, it's how you'll feel when you start actually developing that strength in those hips, right and left side. I promise you how you feel makes it worth it all together. So I've basically shown upper, lower body, some techniques, okay, to improve that unilateral strength. Real quick, a side lunge is also a great tool. We just simply dip to the side, nice wide stance. Sink those hips. Notice I'm sinking my hips. Shoulder stays within inside my knee. My outside foot is flat, and I sink chest up. Okay, side lunges are also a fantastic tool for unilateral strength. So now, let me take you through a couple things to kind of put that all together as a total body package. I'm going to stand right here, put that foot up flat on the stool, and basically just like a step up, I'm going to drive up, and I'm going to rotate opposite side, elbow to knee, step back down. elbow to knee, step back out. Notice I grabbed a nice little mini medicine ball here, basically for a little bit of weight. And elbow to knee, elbow to knee. As you can see from top to bottom, I'm working both lower and upper, opposite sides, basically from head to toe, working all parts of unilateral strength. Coming right here, other side, again, elbow to knee. Rotate that torso, drive through that front heel, and knee. And if you really want to step it up, come right here, actually sink off the step into a lunge, drive back up and back down. Again, now you see, getting that fold. Okay, so those are some tools to help you some unilateral training. I hope that helps. Again, that was a little breakdown, upper, lower body, kind of put it all together towards the end. Great tools to improve your lateral strength, and I hope that helps. Thank you. All right, CalPers, I hope that helps you today in unilateral strength. Basically, understand the importance of unilateral strength and some techniques and some ways to kind of go about that to help you out with that. The last couple of weeks, we talked a lot about beginner workouts. This would be something to add to those, make it a little bit more strenuous, and at the same time, give you a little bit of step up in what you're trying to accomplish. But for everybody, unilateral strength is fantastic as far as overall performance, how you feel, injury prevention. It's definitely on the top list as far as things you should be working on, attempting to work on. And if you're still, after watching this video, a little confused on what you should be doing to improve your lateral strength, please reach out to us at the fitness center. We'd be more than happy to help you out with that. And anything you'd like to add, Morgan?
I think we're good.
Okay, fantastic, guys. We'll see you next time, and enjoy your day. Thank you.
Bye.